Hey guys, Andrew Hyder here at Advanced Outdoors, and the question has been asked to us, what is the difference between the original high power design and the more modern 1911 design? So we're just gonna go over a few of those features today. So the original high power does not have a grip safety, although it does have a smaller beaver tail. It does have an external safety, but typically they are just single-sided, as you'll see here on the left side of the firearm. It is a single action pistol, but it is a hinge trigger. So there's actually a pin at the top of the trigger shoe itself. So the trigger hinges to release the sear off of the hammer. Still uses a barrel lug system inside. We are gonna field strip and show you that here shortly. And it does have an integrated barrel bushing that is into the slide itself. All in all, I mean, those are the key little features there of the actual, the original high power design. And the more modern 1911 design, a lot of times they will have ambi safeties. This is just a single-sided safety. It does have an actual grip safety. So if the gun were loaded, safety flipped off, and you do not have a purchase on the firearm, the gun will not fire. As you grip the pistol, it releases it depresses the grip safety, allowing you to fire the pistol. If you have the safety on, you cannot rack the slide. The gun is locked up completely. Still has a barrel lug system on the inside. Again, we're gonna field strip both pistols and show you that. It does also have a barrel bushing that you have to remove for disassembly. Single stack gun, primarily 1911s are single stack guns. So in 45 ACP, somewhere 6-7 round magazines is what come in there. I'm sorry, 7 or 8 round magazine. They do 10 rounders, but they are extended. Versus the high power design was a high cap gun. So traditionally 13 round magazines. 9mm in the high power versus the 1911 was originally designed in 45 ACP. 115 grain, 230 grain is your typical inline cartridge bullet weight. Overall length is somewhere in that 1130 to 1160 versus 1.250. So completely different lengths in cartridge, completely different animals, but they both have served a great purpose up to this point in the firearms industry. So now what we're gonna do is field strip both guns. We're gonna lay them out side by side and go over some of those points that we were just talking about. Okay, so now we're gonna do an up close field strip on both the high power design and modern 1911. So we're gonna do the high power first. So we do have an unloaded firearm. Okay, so we're gonna pull the slide back. Okay, and there's the slide stop pushes through on the other side of the frame. So literally all we're gonna do is push it up and get it out of the notch, pull it out, walk the slide forward. Okay, the guide rod is partially captured, so you're gonna wanna cover it with your thumb when you pull the slide off of the frame. Okay, set it down. I like to hold the spring in place at the front of the guide rod, and that way you can lift it up, pull the guide rod out. The barrel will lift up out of the locking block, or out of the barrel lugs, and then it'll pull out through the back. Set that down, and then there's the slide. The 1911 is a little bit trickier to do. So again, we have an unloaded firearm. I shut the slide. I'm gonna flip the safety on. I'm gonna set the gun down on the tabletop, and the recoil spring plunger captures the barrel bushing in place. So I'm gonna depress the plunger. I'm gonna rotate the barrel bushing clockwise and then release tension on the recoil spring plunger. At that point, it will allow me flip the safety off, can pull the slide back, and there is a notch specifically for this. When the notch lines up with the slide stop, then you can push through from the other side of the frame and then pull the slide stop out, and at that point, push the slide forward off of the frame. There's no tension on the guide rod at all, so you can pull the recoil spring assembly out. To get the barrel out, you do actually have to rotate the barrel bushing counterclockwise. There is a tab on the inside of the barrel bushing that locks itself up into the slide. And then you have your barrel length that you need to rotate forward. lift the barrel up out of the locking lugs, slide it forward, pull it through the front of the slide. And that is how you field strip both the Browning High Power and a more modern single stack 1911. Okay, so the two main similarities between the pistols are really how the barrels lock up inside the slides. So I'm gonna show you both slides side by side. And so if you look inside the slide here and here, you're going to see that there's actual lugs that lock up around the barrels. Same thing on the barrels themselves. There's lugs. So what this does is it really helps increase the accuracy out of the pistol. It ensures 100% lockup every time the gun goes into battery. It's a great design. It's been around, again, for over 100 years now, and gun builders today are still fine-tuning this platform. It's just great. All right, so we did basic field strip of both platforms. We ended with the 1911, so we're gonna go ahead and put that gun back together first. So we're gonna grab our slide, flip it upside down. Barrel, make sure your link is flipped forward. Barrel slides in from the front. Gonna lock into place, flip your barrel link up, grab your barrel bushing, and again, it has a tab on it. The tab goes in right in the middle, and then you're gonna rotate it clockwise until it stops. Guide rod, spring on. It is concave there, so that is going to slide through and sit on the barrel just in front of the barrel link. Capture everything together. Frame, hammer cocked, safety off, slide the upper assembly onto the frame. Okay, inside, it's gonna be kind of hard to see here, but inside you need to line up the barrel link with the frame. You're gonna push the pin in, and then you have to pull the slide back to that same spot that we went to for disassembly. Now this is the little tricky part, so I'm just gonna use my pocket knife here, but basically all we're gonna do is depress the plunger, and the slide stop falls right through that cavity into the frame. Then we're gonna shut the slide. I'm gonna flip the safety on, flip the gun upside down. This is your recoil spring plunger. Fits over top of the recoil spring. You're gonna push that down inside the slide. Rotate, I always rotate it to where the barrel bushing just captures the edge of it, which allows me to then move my finger out of the way. Rotate, barrel bushing locks in place. Flip the safety off. Function test, it's reassembly of the 1911. We're gonna move right into Browning High Power. Little bit easier design. So barrel drops in from the back forward. Again, you have your locking lug, so you actually can physically hear it lock into place, okay? Guide rod being uncaptured again, but the front of the slide is encapsulated, so you have to be kind of careful as you put this together. Kind of guide the guide rod into the spring, okay? Make sure that the guide rod is centered into the barrel, okay? Frame, safety off, hammer cocked. We're gonna slide the frame, or the slide onto the frame. Okay, we're gonna hold the slide back just enough to where we can start the barrel pin, and then pull it back all the way in place. Function test, and that's reassembly of the Browning High Power. So we've gone through some key features between both platforms. Field strip, talked about some of the original designs that was in the High Power, and then into the modern 1911. There's only one thing left to do. Let's go shoot them. All right, guys, so we're in the range here at the Obetz location. We've got a target set up at about 7 yards. We're gonna shoot the Springfield SA-35, the high power design. Just a 5-round slow fire accuracy test, and then we're gonna immediately grab the Springfield Garrison 1911 and 45 ACP and shoot 5 rounds side-by-side targets just to get an idea the differences between the two guns. So 5 rounds, 4 touching. I threw 1, just a little left there. But again, just slow fire. Gun's just really accurate. This is just factory ball ammo, 115 grain, run-of-the-mill stuff. So we're gonna grab the 1911 now. And we're gonna do the same test, 5 rounds, slow fire, basically 7 yards. I have not shot this gun at all, so I have no idea where it is zeroed, but we're about to find out. So 45 ACP, slightly bigger cartridge. 1 just a little left, but basically all 5 are touching there. Again, this gun is fresh out of the box. We took it apart during the video and put it back together. So you see slight differences. Recoil is different between the 2 calibers. Of course, you've got 9mm, different velocity, different bullet weight versus 45 ACP. Traditional round, that's what the gun was designed around, was that 230 at basically 850 feet per second. All in all, great platforms from Springfield. We are gonna set up a couple targets and do a little run and gun here, so stay tuned for what's next. All right, so we've got 3 USPSA targets set up. We're probably, I don't know, 9, 10 yards away. We got 8 rounds, Hornady ball ammo. We're gonna do just a little kind of transition drill here just to run the gun a little bit. So we're shooting the Springfield Armory SA-35. All right, so gun is very easy to shoot. Ben caught me off guard there. So 2 alpha right here on the transition target, 4 alpha right here in the middle. And then you got, this one's on the edge, but it's there. So as you can see, factory gun, no special trigger work, factory ball ammo. You can really run the gun, be accurate and fast with it. We're gonna tape this up and we're gonna do the exact same test with that 1911 and 45 ACP, so stay tuned. All right, so we're loaded up, 7 + 1, 8 rounds, 3 targets. We're gonna do that same transition drill we did with the SA-35, just so you can kind of see the differences of what you have to manage recoil-wise from 9 to 45. The guns are very similar in weight, so this is just a difference of caliber itself and actual energy that gets transferred from the gun to the shooter. So gun moves a bit more. I push the gun left here quite a bit, so you got Alpha Charlie, 2 Alpha, 2 Charlie, and you got an Alpha Charlie here. All in all though, gun's still very shootable. I'm actually gonna set that up again just because I think I can run the gun a little quicker. But great platforms from Springfield. New iteration to the Browning High Power and then also the Garrison 1911. This gun is gonna be available for rent on our range. I do have an SA-35 en route from Springfield that's gonna be on the range too. So stop by, check out both of them here. Comment below. Make sure you subscribe so you get all the notifications of the videos we post. Thanks for shopping Advance Outdoors.